Hello and welcome to WRX. My name is Weiss, and today I wanted to take a look at two very fun cars that are currently available on the market, regardless of what the markups say, and that is the 2022 WRX and the 2023 Corolla GR. So everybody knows what's been going on with the Corolla. It's overpriced right now, markups are crazy high, some people can't even find them, etc., etc., etc. For this purpose, we're going to ignore the fact that that's even happening out there and just try to see, try to just kind of look at the differences to see if they're truly even competitors. I know some people want to compare the two cars, and there's a lot to compare, right? There's a lot of things that are similar, but there's just a few things that are a little different, and I wanted to talk about that. Now, a little history about myself. When I came to America, my dad actually bought a 1988 Corolla FX hatchback, and it was silver. It was 5-speed, and we drove that thing all over the United States. I mean, at one point, we even drove it from Washington State all the way to Orlando, Florida, which, of course, it made the trip with some issues. And we actually had that car all the way to 2002, where I really thought that out of high school, that was going to be my first car. Unfortunately, it died, after that many years. Even Toyotas go, and man, we drove it everywhere, right? That thing did a lot of work. So, it ran, it died. So for me, a Corolla is really big deal. Like it's really deep-seated in my family, and I've actually been looking for that same 1988 Corolla FX, and if I find it, believe you, I'm gonna buy it, right? Just because it's nostalgic. Now, when I saw the Corolla hatchbacks, just the body style, like on the road driving around, I was like, I didn't even know that they came out, right? And again, this is, when it comes to looks, this is subjective, I think they look fantastic. And again, because of my nostalgia, I was like, had I known that this was even gonna come out, I probably would have bought one. Now, of course, with what's been going on right now in the market, that's more of a dream than a reality. But what I wanted to talk about was, are these two cars really that competitive? And if they are, why? And if they're not, why not? So first we're going to look at the Corolla. The Corolla is based off the E210 chassis, and it's the same so the non-GR and the GR have the same chassis. They didn't change that at all. All they've added is just whatever extra suspension mods that they've added to it, the 6-speed, they've got the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, 300 horsepower, three cylinders, big deal. Everybody's been talking about that. Of course, US didn't get the GR Yaris that they made for WRC. Instead, we got the Corolla, which is still cool. I'd rather have the Corolla than the Yaris, which is really cool. Now, this story, for a second, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat, and I want you to indulge me, because I've been talking to other people about this, and I think I'm on to something. Now, I know a couple of years ago, like 2011 or so, Toyota decided to team up with Subaru to build what we know as the original FRS and BRZ. Great car, right? Absolutely fantastic, great price point, super fun to drive, fantastic, right? Fast forward, Subaru's first full electric car, the Solterra, Toyota helped them develop that. Whatever. Fast forward a little bit more, the 2022 FRS and BRZ release, again, another great collaboration between two great car companies. Now, this car gets announced around the same time the STI gets canceled. My belief is, what if Akio Toyoda knew that Subaru was going to cancel the STI around this time period? Maybe there was already rumblings going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and decided, hey, if they're not going to make, like a sub $40,000 four-wheel drive, 6-speed turbocharged car, what if we make one, right? And I mean, the timings really match up, right? Look, you don't have to subscribe to this. This is what I think happened. Not that I'm upset about it, but I mean, you guys tell me. The GR Corolla basically is an STI, right? Anyway, we'll put a pin in that one. If you guys subscribe to it, great. If not, whatever. So, are these cars really that different? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Now, what's really interesting is I actually tried to put them as a comparison on their own websites. So this is Toyota's website, and I actually could not find the Corolla GR on here to do a comparison. And even on Subaru's website, when I try to find it, there is no Corolla GR. So what I ended up having to do was just pull up Car and Driver, they actually have really good articles when it comes to comparison stuff, and they have like specifications and all that, which makes it a little bit easier for me to compare cars. So what I wanted to talk about first is really, are they even in the same price point? Like if there was no markup, would you be cross-shopping these two cars? Now, by price alone, probably not. This price is actually a little bit behind. $30,600 is not what a base costs right now. The base right now, I think, is like right at $31,500. Whereas a base Corolla is, a base GR Corolla is $36,995, basically $37,000. That is STI, that is base STI money right there, right? So price point alone, if you're looking for something all-wheel drive, 6-speed, turbocharged, it's not going to be a Corolla GR for that price. That's a $6,000 difference. And you're not really getting anything more besides the hatch. And the reason, or well, I guess you're going to get the hatch and you're going to get the center differential control. And that's it. You don't get the torsion limited slips because those come in the circuit package. Or you can add them for, I think it's like $2,000 or $2,500. Now, to be fair, the WRX does not come with that. No limited slips for the WRX at all on any trims. So that's something to think about. For a daily, not really important. Also for a daily, DCCD, center control, center differential control, also not very important. One can say for a daily, is even turbocharge important? Probably not, but that's a different conversation. So those price alone kind of puts this in a really weird spot, because even if you go up a step to the circuit edition, which does add the limited slip, and it does come with like what else? I don't think it really comes with that much more. I'll have to go back and look. I think it comes with like the spoiler, it comes with slightly more tuned suspension, but no actual power increase. You're looking at $43,000. Oh, it does come with the forged carbon roof, I think, to save a little bit of weight. So $43,000, $44,000. Now we're looking at like, this is Golf R money, right? Or even like used Audi S3 money is what we're talking about. That's really high. If you look at the same thing with the Subaru, you're not going up the chain, you're not really getting that much performance-wise at all. If anything, your car is getting heavier, and the GT, as we all know, at $42,000, it's automatic only. So we're not even going to worry about that. So now let's look at more of some of the specifications, which this is where things get harder between these two cars, because there's, to me, again, very little difference. The weight, 3269 on the Corolla, which is a few pounds lighter than the premium, the base. Car and Driver actually has the limited on here, so that's like about 3,400 pounds. I know that my premium is 3,320, and I believe that the base is like 3,280 or 3,260, which again, very close, right? Again, both come with a 6-speed, both have all-wheel drive. I believe the Corolla does have the ability to go all the way up to 30% up front and 70% rear power split, whereas the WRX is only 50-50 front to back. Of course, the different engines, WRX has the Boxer. You've got this 3-cylinder in the Corolla. Both come with 4 doors. One has a hatch, one doesn't. Like the similarities, it's just because there's more and more similarities than there are differences. I mean, it's practically the same car. And now speed-wise, right? Now here's the other thing. If you're really looking at it for speed, this is car driver's tests. They've got 0 to 60 at 4.9, quarter mile at 13.3 at 105 for the Corolla. Here they've got the WRX as 0 to 60 5.4 with a quarter mile time of 14.1 at 101. Now, again, I believe these numbers because these are regular people driving them, and regular people are going to be the ones buying these cars for the most part, and these are the regular times you're going to get. Yeah, Corolla is a little bit faster. To be expected, it's like a hair lighter, and there's a little bit more power on it. But again, you are paying more. Now, the power part is really interesting because the same thing that happened with the WRX is happening here with the Corolla, because here I've actually been looking for different dyno numbers, and this is like the best one I found that is about as average as through all the other ones. And this is what it's making. This was what it was making at the time when this was released, I think a couple of months ago. Yeah, this is January. So you got 254 to the wheel and 279 torque. That's pretty good, right? 300 is what they're rated by the factory. This, at 254 to the wheel, it's definitely more than 300, right? Same thing happened when we dynoed my WRX. From the factory, they're rated at 271. This is actually dyno from my day at Ecotech, the stock dyno. They're rated at 271 to the crank. This was showing 268 to the wheel. There's just no way that that car is making 271, right? So both cars are, they're underreported. The power they make is far more than what is reported by on paper, which I don't know why that is. So take those things as into account. Another thing to remember, and I don't have a whole lot of resources here to show you for the GR, but the aftermarket support for the Subaru is through the roof. It always is. And even with the 22, as we've seen, tons of stuff has been coming out. I know that there is an aftermarket support for the Corolla, but it's going to be first generation, it's going to be new, and we don't really know how far it's going to go. So there's a couple of things to think about when it comes to this purchase, because it's I'm just going to keep it as a daily and do nothing, or I'm going to buy it and I'm going to do stuff, right? And also, what is my price point? Like, what is my budget? These two cars are in a different price point, and they seemingly accomplish or set out to accomplish the same thing. And I think for the most part they do. It's a really tough choice. Now, if the Corolla came in at even like starting at 33, oh man, that would be a hell of a competitor, right? Going right up against a premium at 32, 33, that would be a hard sell, because again, they're very similar on paper, and even on the track, they're very similar cars. I think the Corolla, of course, is going to be a little bit faster. But I mean, even myself, how many of us get out to a track as often as we wish? So if you see somebody on the road and you're in a Corolla and they're in a WRX or vice versa, you're probably going to be about the same. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was informative. I didn't want to say which one I'd pick, because that just ends up causing a lot of comments, causing issues in the comments. So we're just going to leave it at that. They're both great cars. I would love to accept either of them, but you guys already know which one I bought. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.